Hi, it's me, Ruby, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I come up with poses and how I studied anatomy. Because this is a question that I frequently get. Um, and yeah, so studying anatomy is really important. I studied anatomy for doctors, and I also no, I'm not a doctor, um, but I took a medical class to understand the anatomy, and I did hundreds of hours of figure drawing. So I was lucky enough to be trained formally in traditional art, and I really want to share some of the things I learned about that with you. Figure drawing is its own whole thing, it's gonna take some time to get the hang of it and gesture and stuff and stay positive and all that. But I think there's like so many good figure drawing resources online right now, and if you're having trouble with that, like, mix it up. Start drawing clothed people, draw your friends, like ask someone to sit for you, maybe draw animals, robots, whatever you want to draw, whatever makes it fun. Find the way to make it fun, because when you can make practice fun, then it becomes effortless. And that's the only way that you're going to want to keep doing it. So, yes, figure drawing, absolutely recommend, totally necessary for understanding anatomy, as is understanding the structure of the human body mechanically. And that's why I studied from a doctor's point of view. Because when you look at artist anatomy, a lot of the resources made for artists are based on what the body looks like from the outside or just under the skin. But if we don't know how the muscles connect to the bones, then we don't really know how the body is moving. And if we don't know that, we'll never be able to fudge it. When I freehand like a body, I'm able to fudge it in a way that it's not actually totally anatomically correct, but it looks plausible because I took the time to understand some of how the body works. I'm by no means an expert, but just understanding how does this joint actually work? What are the limitations of this joint? Like, the shoulder can go all the way around, right? But where does it catch? What about your elbow? How far can you turn your arm yourself, or your hand? Like, how far can you bend your wrist? What's the actual mobility of this joint? And what are the tendons that support that joint? At what situation are they going to stick out? Like under stress, under bearing weight. All of this will become like not second nature, but you'll be able to fudge this when you draw characters once you understand things like that. So I really recommend looking at doctors' anatomy, and I recommend doctors over artists just for that reason, because you know it's you don't need to copy someone else's style. Maybe you want to copy someone else's style, and that's fine. You can copy, you can trace. That's a choice you're making. But when it comes to anatomy, you don't need to copy what someone else is doing. First of all, there's infinite ways to draw the human body, or to draw in general, right? So if you want to develop your own style, the best way is to just study the structure, not study someone else's style, because then it's I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but it just becomes easier that way. Like, there's nothing anatomically correct about the body that I'm drawing right now, but it's like plausible enough. I don't know. This looks like crap actually. It's sort of hard to freehand while like trying to keep track of what I'm saying. But I made some drawings earlier. Like, you can break down the body to kind of help you keep track of the structure. A lot of people break it down into the rib cage and the pelvis and do the spine. Remember that there's always a curvature to the spine, like even in people who stand perfectly straight. There's a curvature to it that angles the rib cage upward and the pelvis downwards. and the neck has a curvature to it as well. Um, and that gets, if you've got if you're shrimping, I don't even know how we would, when we're like slouched over, right? And the neck is like that and the body's like this, and then the pelvis and the rib cage are angled inwards. And hands and feet, I usually break it down into like, here's a circle, and then at the base of the wrist is where you want to start thinking about the fingers, because the fingers basically radiate out from there, like as bones, right? So if we keep that in mind, we've got the fleshy part of the hand, and then we've got the fingers. Posing the fingers is difficult, and I still look at my own hands to figure out how I want to do that. But in terms of like setting up the structure of the hand, those bones are going to sit on the top of the hand and the flesh is going to be underneath. And hands are something, that is good to study just because they're a pain, and the more you study them, the less of a pain they become. But also because I wanted to talk about expression and like how much body language factors into that, which is a lot. Like, at least as important as the face is having a body that really conveys that expression. The body portrays every emotion that we have, every feeling that we have is going to impact the entire body, from the shoulders to the pelvis to the both legs, the toes, on the fingers, especially the hands, are going to be super helpful for you to convey the emotion of a character. And I did this trying to convey like a defeated character, looking at the legs are relaxed, they're parted, like, this character is sort of just how do I put it, like listless. They're not really what layer is this on? Oh, here we go. Sorry. It's bothering me because this arm doesn't feel as slack as it should. But yeah, the arms are slack, the legs are slack, so they've fallen open. Because it takes effort to close your legs. And, the hands are just no pose going into them. They're just slack as well. That head is turning face downward. The shoulders are sloped. Everything is just, relaxed. Every part of the body. If I could draw the feet, they would be... I can't draw the feet, can I? They would be just as... as much as I can in every part of the body that I can, I want to convey this sort of slump that's going to give a feeling of like really tiredness or depression. And as for like high energy emotions, movement is really important. So if you want to convey movement, I do like little cartoony, whatever these are called, to convey some movement. But I'm also thinking about like how I'm posing the body the whole time, like the whole every part of the body, but especially the hands. Like when we have a high energy, intense emotion, like joy, excitement, or rage, it's going to show in the hands. The hands are either going to be balled up, or you're going to see the muscles are active in the hands. Like what, I don't know about you guys, but when I get really mad, I do the claw hands. And so that's sort of why the hands look like that. And I've also pulled the... Hang on a second, my screen keeps going out, which is fantastic. I love it when that happens. I'll just give it a second here. helps. Okay, we're back. Yeah, so the body is straight up. The shoulders are lifted, with the arms or muscles are activated and our hands are, you can see that there's tension in them and tension in the face. Just want to bring that down to like every part of the body. We can do like bent legs if we want to do like, maybe this person is like jumping up and down or whatever. But yeah, body language super super important when you're posing. Feel what they're feeling. Like a lot of people, and this is a great technique that I recommend, but like a lot of people look at their face in the mirror when they're drawing an expression to kind of figure out like what are the muscles even doing, like what shape does the eye really make when I feel this or I'm imagining this feeling, and get up and do that in front of a full length mirror if you can. Look at your body. What is your body doing when you're acting? When you go back to a feeling and try to remember what it felt like and just observe that. Like train your powers of observation. I think that's the best outcome of figure drawing is learning to observe, and you can apply that skill anywhere. You can apply it to anything. So once you train your eyes, like it will get easier, and eventually you'll be able to fudge it, and it's the sort of thing you can improve on like for your entire life. Once you know the fundamentals, it will get easier. Just stick to what's fun, and remember to like keep in touch with your body. Like look at your body, really think about when you study the anatomy, try it out with your body. Try to activate that muscle you're looking at and look at it, and how does it look and how does it feel, and like you can feel where it connects. It starts to make sense. And I just want to disclaim my drawings. I'm by no means an expert, and I'm not really qualified to teach anyone, but people ask me, so I feel like I really want to share like what I know or what I think helped me, because I know a lot of people aren't lucky enough to have a formal education. So if anything I can say could help you, that would be great. So I just think that I would like to reach people in that way. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. Please leave a comment, question, or suggestion. You can do that either on my Twitter or my Retrospring or on YouTube or whatever. And if you have any like questions, suggestions, or comments, remarks, like I would love to talk to you and help you or address whatever you want addressed. And maybe we could even do like an anatomy lesson or something at some point. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. That's all I wanted to say today.